All right, let's go back now to that earlier story where stampede at the South African High Commission in Lesotho took place a little bit earlier on today as Lesotho Special Permit applicants demand re-entry into South Africa after the holiday season. Well, our reporter Rapalang Khadebe is standing by on the line. Good afternoon, Rapalang. Tell us what's happening at the High Commission right now.
Good afternoon. The situation has gone much calmer now, I think, after some resolution was reached that people will be allowed back into South Africa if they produce the permits that show that they are still waiting for their permits. The South African High Commission simply could not handle the amount of people that came to collect their permits. They were anticipating that about 7,000 permits were issued and were to be collected. Now, with everybody coming to collect them and needing them almost instantly, immediately, South African High Commission was simply not in a position to be able to do that in a short space of time.
Rapalang, how visible are security forces outside the High Commission offices right now?
The Lesotho police had to intervene. They were called in. The chaos actually began yesterday when people started singing songs, chanting slogans, saying they are being deliberately prohibited to go back into South Africa. So Lesotho police immediately took over and came to the commission to provide support. They explained how the process works, and they also explained that it is impossible that 7,000 people could be processed in a short space of time, since most of the staff at the commission are actually still in holidays, so it was almost impossible. But the situation was much calmer today after their intervention.
Rapalang, you're on the scene there, you're on the ground. Have you talked to ordinary Basotho now trying to cross back into South Africa? What are they actually saying? Because they're clearly frustrated by the process so far. And very quickly, has there been any reaction from the South African High Commission yet?
I have spoken to quite a few agitated people who says they are simply frustrated. Some cite that they have actually slept there overnight, citing that only 20 people were served yesterday, which means if they did not sleep there to be first on the queue, it means they would not even get an opportunity to be served even today. South African High Commission says they are really under pressure, because they could not anticipate that people would demand to be given permits all at the same time. It was simply impossible for them to do that. So some sort of an arrangement was made that those who have their slips that indicate that they are awaiting their permits would be allowed at a 30 days grace period to re-enter into South Africa. And then an announcement will be made via media and other platforms, such that those people could know exactly where to get their permits or what steps they should follow.
Thank you, Rapalang.